need to see regulation implemented urgently to bring it in line with any other kind of credit product.
This is a serious financial product with strings attached, and if anything goes wrong, it could come back to bite you.
The service was always available. I would buy things even if I had like no money left.
What if I told you that you might be unknowingly contributing to your friend's shopping spree, even if you're just using cash? And what if I mentioned that the companies behind this habit are actually losing billions in the process? Welcome to the upside-down world of buy now, pay later. Services like Klarna, Afterpay, and Affirm have taken off in recent years, promising a fresh, smarter way to shop. They allow you to grab what you want now and pay for it later in small, manageable, interest-free installments. It seems like a clever financial trick, but beneath the shiny apps and those 4 easy payments lies a flawed business model that's inflating a huge, hidden debt bubble. The most alarming part isn't just the impact on the users, but also how it's affecting prices for all of us. How can a debt-driven business be so popular, yet so incredibly unprofitable? And who's really footing the bill? Let's face it, the charm of buy now, pay later is pretty straightforward. It's like a magic trick for your finances. Picture this. You're at the checkout, eyeing a $200 pair of sneakers. That's a hefty sum to part with all at once. But then you spot that little logo, or 4 payments of $50. Suddenly, that intimidating number disappears, replaced by a much friendlier, more digestible figure. You're not shelling out $200 today, you're just spending $50. It feels responsible, almost like you're saving money. For millions, this has become the new norm. These companies now carry over $500 billion in debt. They've managed to convince an entire generation that breaking up payments is just a regular part of shopping. Psychologically, it's brilliant. It eliminates the pain of paying, that little jolt you feel when you hand over a large sum. With that sting gone, we tend to spend more. A lot more. According to a report from the Harvard Business Review, when people start using these services, their spending on non-essential items skyrockets by an astonishing 30%. That's a massive jump that most households can't ignore. Now, you might be wondering, what's the catch? How do these companies profit if everything is interest-free? Well, they have a couple of tricks up their sleeves. First off, they charge the retailers you're shopping with. When a store like Nike or Sephora offers Afterpay, they pay a fee for every transaction made through that service. And let me tell you, that fee isn't pocket change. While a credit card company might take 2 to 3% from a merchant, buy now, pay later, companies can charge anywhere from 4% to a whopping 8%. So why do stores go for it? Because it encourages you to spend more and shop more frequently. The second way they rake in the cash is when things don't go as planned for you, the user. If you happen to miss one of those easy payments, the penalties come into play. Suddenly, that interest-free deal doesn't feel so free anymore. You'll find yourself facing late fees. And in some cases, your account might start accumulating interest that can rival, if not exceed, what you'd see with a credit card. This is where the illusion starts to fade and can turn into a bit of a trap. Let's picture a user we'll call Alex. Alex decides to use Klarna to snag a new jacket. It's just 4 payments of $40. Simple enough. The following week, Alex spots some concert tickets and opts for Afterpay. That's 4 payments of $60. Then a hot new video game drops, and Alex goes for 4 payments of $15 on Affirm. Individually, these payments seem manageable. But now, Alex is juggling 3 different payment plans across 3 different apps, each with its own due date. It only takes one little slip, one missed payment, and suddenly those fees start stacking up. Before you know it, Alex is paying extra on top of the original price, and the debt begins to spiral out of control. This isn't just a theoretical situation. Research has shown that a significant number of buy now, pay later users are really struggling. Many are resorting to loans simply because it's the only way they can manage to buy things, even the essentials. One of the fastest growing areas for these services is groceries. People are financing their milk and bread. This isn't about treating yourself anymore. For many, it's a matter of survival, and these companies are taking advantage of that desperation. They've cleverly sidestepped the strict regulations that apply to credit cards and loans by claiming they aren't lenders, but rather a payment solution. This loophole lets them offer credit to individuals who would typically be denied by a bank, often for very valid reasons. So, while users are sinking deeper into debt, you'd think these companies are raking in the cash, right? Well, here's where things get really strange. They're not. They're actually financial messes. In 2023, the fintech company Affirm lost nearly $500 million. Klarna, which was once valued at over $45 billion, had to raise funds at a valuation of less than $7 billion, a staggering drop of over 85%. How can this be? There are a few key reasons. First off, their customers aren't exactly reliable when it comes to paying them back. Since they don't conduct the same thorough credit checks as banks do, they end up with a lot of high-risk borrowers. Klarna's own financial reports revealed they lost $136 million in just one quarter from loans they essentially gave up on ever collecting. Let's break this down. First off, these companies aren't banks. They don't just have a huge stash of cash sitting around to lend out. Instead, they need to borrow that money from larger financial institutions. And guess what? They have to pay interest on it. So, they're shelling out interest to borrow money, which they then lend out interest-free to customers who are often a bit of a risk and might not pay them back. It's like trying to fill a bucket that has a bunch of holes in it. Now, on to the next point. The competition is cutthroat. To become the go-to buy now, pay later provider for massive retailers like Amazon or Walmart, they have to offer them sweet deals with significantly lower merchant fees. This means they're sacrificing their main source of income just to attract more users, who, in turn, end up costing them even more money. This leads us to the big question. If users are getting stuck in debt and these companies are losing billions, who's really footing the bill for this broken system? The answer is everyone. That 8% fee that stores have to pay, they're not just going to swallow that cost and take a hit on their profits. They have two options: either stop offering these payment plans altogether or raise their product prices to make up for it. And guess what? Most of them choose the latter. So whether you're buying that t-shirt or that coffee maker, you're likely paying a bit more to cover the high fees from buy now, pay later services. Even if you're using your debit card or cash, a portion of your money is going towards supporting a system that promotes debt and is run by companies that can't even turn a profit themselves. What we're witnessing here is a classic tale of tech growth. It's the same strategy that companies like Uber and Airbnb have used. Attract as many users as you can, as quickly as possible, by burning through investor funds. The profit part, that can wait. But here's the twist. Instead of a cheap ride or a cozy vacation rental, the product on offer is debt. And when this model eventually shifts to focus on profitability, it's not going to be pretty. For businesses, it means even steeper fees. For customers, it translates to more hidden charges, higher penalties, and more aggressive tactics to squeeze out every last penny you didn't plan on spending. The enticing promise of buy now, pay later painted a picture of a world free from interest, where you could enjoy everything right away without any repercussions. But the truth is, it's a system built on a shaky debt foundation, where the only real winners are the venture capitalists who might cash in before everything collapses. For the rest of us, it's a raw deal, costing us in late fees, personal debt, and a few extra cents tacked onto every purchase. This relentless cycle of spending money to fuel growth is reshaping every industry.